Good evening, or morning, or afternoon, wherever you may be. I am pulling out an old project that I have not touched in a long time. It's this Twirling Teacups paper piece. And so I've got this done. That's what you see right here. And then this is the background, and we're now working on these right here. So I'm going to set this over here to the side. Actually, I'll leave that there. And this is the first circle of those. And these are some of the fabrics that I'm using. And so I thought, I would just work on something that is different and I haven't worked on in a while. And just one of those easy, fun things that you can do just sitting anywhere, in the car, while you're at the doctor. So I'm just sewing these little seams together. My husband can quilt, and I have never been able to quilt. I can't sew. I could not sew with a machine if my life depended on it. I cannot make clothing. I can't do any of it. And then someone was doing this paper piecing, and you use the cardboard and wrap the fabric around it and then just hand sew these together. I was like, oh, I can do that. So I may not be able to make quilts on a machine, but I can do it this way. And this is bad. I mean, this is fun for me. I enjoy it. It's slower, and I'm sure people that do quilts on the machine think, oh my word, I don't want to do that, but I love it. And then once you start putting them together, so like this section, I could actually go ahead and pop these pieces of cardboard out, but I would leave these in until I attach the next round, and then you take these out because that's what keeps it firm and stiff to sew together. So I enjoy doing this, but it is a little slower. And this is I'm on this section right here. So that's what I'm doing. I have them all separated into little baggies because I went ahead and cut it all at the beginning. I just went ahead and cut all of them. I don't know if normal quilters do that when they're working, if they cut all of theirs at one time or in sections, but so you're just grabbing a little bit of fabric. And sometimes that happens. All right, we're getting there. Okay. Hey, Supreme, did you have a good day? Well, Shipwreck, I cannot sew to save my life on a machine, but I found this thing called English paper piecing. And so you use, um, there's like cardstock in here, and you fold your paper over it, glue it down, and then you sew it together and it makes a quilt. It's awesome. So I can quilt and I don't need a machine. I think that's pretty cool. I bet y'all are busy bouncing between channels, aren't ya? Yeah, my husband can actually quilt, and he used to make fun of me because I just could not figure it out. But part of that, I think, is because I've scrapbooked for so long, and you just don't waste anything in scrapbooking, right? That I was trying to not waste anything in quilting, and apparently you don't do it that way. And then he said, well, you have to use geometry. And I said, well, I didn't have to take geometry. I was too cute to take geometry. Geometry was not my thing. So now I can quilt too. Yeah, I have a math story. I didn't do well in math, but which is funny because I was an accountant until I retired. My whole career has been an accountant, but I couldn't do that algebra stuff. It just was not for me. They ended up putting me in banking so I could pass. So I've jumped in some streams. It looks like it's been pretty busy today. Looks like it got kicked off if people are going strong. Yeah, this morning I worked on some mittens till I ran out of yarn. I didn't think I was going to do that. And then I'm working on this evening. And tomorrow I'm going to work on some socks that I've been knitting. I do 2 at a time socks. So I'm going to work on that tomorrow afternoon. This works out well for me because it just makes me sit down and get some projects done. I love it. And if I can answer questions and teach along the way, that's fun too. And I found someone that loves true crime, so we were having a good time talking about true crime. My husband doesn't want to hear true crime. He's always like, why do you watch this stuff? And should I worry? It does. It does make you take time for yourself, although that's not a problem for me, as you can tell, because I have 5,000 projects going. My daughter got married back in August, and one of her sorority sisters, her husband is a sheriff, and he was laughing at me because I said, I learned how to get rid of blood splatter, and they cannot use the UV light to see it. And he was like, oh, that's great. That's good. That is probably not something you should be telling the sheriff. I said, oh, well. That could be dangerous. I'm like, I'm learning all kinds of stuff on this true crime thing. Well, did you get to stream today, or are you streaming here in a little bit? Oh, okay. Well, you're busy enough just popping in and out. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes that's hard. But that's very good that you recognize it and you know that you need to do that. Yeah, those are serious. I think I told you my husband had a frontal lobe brain injury, and that was very scary. He it was so bad that we could not I could not leave him, and he couldn't go out in the front yard. He could turn around, look at the house, and not know that was our house. And so they were like, you've got to pin your phone number on his shirt every day, because if he walks outside and walks off, um, he won't know how to get back. He never did that, but if I couldn't leave him, so he had to go to the grocery store with me. He had to go anywhere I had to go. So we would go in the grocery store, and then he would have a panic attack just walking back out of the grocery store because he had no idea where the car was. And, and he would get so frustrated not being able to remember something. He hated going to the doctor because they would give him 3 words to remember. And he just knew he could remember those 3 words, but he couldn't remember those 3 words. And we can laugh now. It was a long time ago, but it was so funny because um, they asked him who the president was, and he was so proud. He said Reagan, and we were like, yeah, that was like 4 presidents ago, 3 presidents ago, and he was so devastated. He just knew he knew that answer, but he's all better now. But those brain injuries, they can be scary, and they can affect, you know. Um, I don't. I can remember, every time we went into the doctor would ask me, "Do you feel safe? Do you feel?" I'm like, "He's fine. He's not taking it out on me." But that can be, and he would, it wasn't his fault, but he would get so frustrated. And that was the first time, because I've had migraines my entire life. And that was the first time that he really started having headaches. And he looked at me one day and said, "I am so sorry. I never understood how bad your head would hurt." And I'm like, "Well, at least you know. I'm sorry you're having to go through it, but now at least you can sympathize." So you just have to let yourself heal and be careful and rest and do what the doctor says. It's important. Brains are important things. All right. Okay, we are getting there. We're about to have a circle. We are about to have a circle. All right. Now we'll start this one. And I just always do this right in the corner. Come back in and tie my knot. And of course I taught myself how to do this, so if there's a better way, somebody let me know. And then I just take my tail of my thread and I just tack it under as I go. I just catch it. Oh. I just catch it as I go. And see, that just puts that tail right down there and you don't have to weave anything in. And this takes a while, but it is easy to take with you places, in the car, if you're traveling. Hey, is it Gigi or is it Giggy? And thanks for the follow. Because you know I'm from Texas, so I immediately say gig, like gig 'em. Oops. All right, let me grab a drink real quick. When it starts getting, my thing starts getting smaller, I try to start holding my thumb on it because it gets caught up and it starts to frustrate me. Oh, stop. Okay. Well, who? Okay, right off the needle. And let me just put my little thing in there. Oh, come on, I saw you. Come on. Now you've done it perfect every time tonight. There we go. I love that thing. Okay, now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Alrighty. Whoops, I almost pulled it off the needle again. Alright, coming to the end of this one. And then we get to put our last one on to make our full circle. We will do it on both sides. So, run this one back under here to hide the tail. And then I'll poke myself and bleed. Alrighty. See how he does that. Okay, take that out. Get our last one. At least that worked out. We're going to have every other one, so yay. That part worked out. Let's get our last one in here. So we did it right. And get that stuck together. But I do have my trusty little seam ripper just in case, because I have sewn the wrong one to the wrong side. I am known for that, so I am prepared just in case. Just in case. But I love my little needle thingy. Why am I sitting lopsided? I don't know. Alright. Whoops. Nope. Come on. Get down there. Okay. Why'd you move? My needle moved. Okay. At this rate, I can do it myself if you're not going to behave. There we go. Do not know why you're being difficult. Alrighty. So, we are on our last one of this circle. And if you weren't here earlier, this is as close as I can get to real quilting because I cannot sew if my life depended on it. But I can do this. So, I can still do quilts. I just can't do it like everybody else because I can do any other craft. I cannot sew. I just can't. I don't know what it is. But I just cannot. I've tried. Make y'all dizzy. I mean, I have done all kinds of crafts in my life. Ceramics, made jewelry, cross stitch, I knit, crochet, rug hook, rug punch, tufting. I can draw, I can paint. But for the life of me, I cannot sew. But when I saw someone doing this, I was like, oh, I can do that. And so I'm doing that. If I'm not going to get myself all twisted here, let's put you way over there. So I have all of my fabric cut. I cut it all at once. And then I have them all in little baggies. And we've made this whole inner circle. So now we're working on this circle here. And so you just catch a little bit of each piece and just keep going. And then once I get this one done, I'll show you how you pop out the pieces in the center. Because that's always a very satisfying thing. That literally just fell right out of my hand. keep thinking it's so much later because it's dark. And then I look up at the clock and go, oh, it's not really. All right, we are almost there. All right, we are to the last one. Not Then what I'm going to do, instead of cutting that off, I'm going to open this up, flip it this direction, and we'll just come up this other side, and I won't have to cut my yarn. You can tell what I'm usually doing. Won't have to cut my thread. We'll just come up this other side and go the other direction. If I can pick up my needle. Alright, so right here, we will start this one. And when we finish this side, we will have a circle. Is it Xylera? Hello. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that wrong so I know. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, great. How are you this evening? Well, it's evening here. I don't know where you are. Is it evening there? I don't assume. So it's tonight. Yes, I am good. I am doing well. I was just saying I keep thinking it's later than it is with this time change and it's already dark. I look up at the clock and think, oh, it's not that late. Has it been a long day? I'm sorry. Yeah. And I don't know if you have animals, but oh my word, it's worse on him, on my cat, and then because he thinks we should be up and he should eat, and oh, and it's like no. Yes, it's so frustrating. I mean, I can't blame him. I understand he thinks it's time to eat, but then I can't go back to sleep, and I'm usually not a napper, so I can't do those power naps. I have to like take a real nap. So then it's like, oh, yeah, I know. I understand. It's just the idea that you lost that extra sleep, right? It's just, oh, well. And then it's that, do I ignore him so that he'll learn, no, it's not time to eat yet? Or do I just go ahead? Mine's very vocal. So he will start yelling if he doesn't get it after a while, if he gets mad enough. Do I go ahead and get up and let him have it? Or do I, fight him and make him wait so he'll learn? But am I that mean? Because I'm not. I'm way too soft. Alright, we're almost to the end of this one. Well, mine is so funny. He knows he'll walk around me once, and if I don't move, and if I don't have any body part out from under the covers, then he knows I'm still asleep. He won't mess with me. But if I have even a peek of a hand or an arm outside of the covers, he thinks, okay, she's ready to get up. Now, this morning he walked around me and I ignored him, but I guess he thought, okay, fine, she is not paying attention to me. And so he went and just walked up and down my husband. So he ended up getting up and feeding him, and he left me alone. So I got away with it this morning. But it's funny the little habits and tricks they get into. They all have such personalities. And it's not like he doesn't have dry food and treats. Aww. Oh, that is so sweet of you to take her. I'm sure that helped him with peace of mind, and that would be hard. I have a Bengal who is a year and a half old, and I don't know if you know anything about Bengals, but they're not even allowed in some states because they're half Asian leopard and half domestic cat, and some states are not allowed in at all, and some states they have to be at least 5 generations removed from the leopard, because they feel they're not domesticated enough. And ours is only 3 generations removed from a full leopard. So he has very strong will, and he is definitely just different than my other domesticated cats I've had. Well, I know. I think mine has treat bowls in 4 places. He has like 4 water places, and he's the only animal in this house. And God forbid one of those gets even a fleck of anything in it, because he won't touch it. It just cracks me up. But he really is sweet. He just is definitely a mind of his own. And very, very loud and vocal. Okay, I'm going to tie this one off. in under the and here. That one. Stick him in our chicken. And there is one of our pinwheels. Yeah. Obviously, it is empty. All right, so that is one of our next row. Now we will start another one. Oh, speaking of, hello. What can I do for you? Would you like to say hello? Hey, 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 no. You cannot just move the camera around. Nope. Yes. Uh-oh, Daddy's coming to get you. Daddy's coming to get you. Hey, look over here a minute. Let's see how pretty your face is. Can you say hi? Binks. 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 Hey, you want to say hi? See, he thinks it's 8 o'clock and it's time for treats. Binks. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, come here. Hi. Can you sit right here and say hi? Come here. Hey, look over here. Look over here. You're making a mess. You're moving all of my stuff. Here's your mouse. Hi. Do you want to say hi? No? Hey. Oh, nope. See? That's all he wanted. He has left. After he shoved all my stuff all over the place. Oh, yeah. Now he's beating up paper. If you can hear that. That's what he's doing. Beating up paper. Yeah, he's what they call a snow leopard. Okay. So now we're going to make another circle out of these. Oh, awesome. He has blue eyes. That's why I wanted him to look up in the camera, but he wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it, would you? Usually, as soon as I turn on my lights for to stream, he's like, here I am, put me on camera. He has his own camera, but I unhooked it yesterday to do something else and I haven't hooked it back up. Because he thinks he's a star. So I'm going to start this one. Yeah, of course. That's what he thinks. This whole thing revolves around him. Oh, am I talking about you? Are you coming back? Are you coming back? Hey, what you doing? Can you come sit on your blankie right here? Come sit on your blankie and I'll show you on camera. Come here. Hey, come on. Thank you. They don't want to see your whole body. Yeah, I know. Come on. Come sit down and I'll put you on camera. Come right here. Can you look at me? Can you look at mommy? Come here. Can you look at mommy? Look right here. Hey. Can you look at me? Can you look over here? Binksy. No? You're just going to be obstinate? Are you just going to be obstinate? Come here. Come over here. Look right here. Hey. No. Well, you're just going to be difficult? Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm done. I'm done trying to get you to look pretty. Yes, I am. I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Can your tail come out of my... Thank you. You've undone my thing. Okay, come right here. Come on. You want to burrow? Here we go. Alright, now I messed up all my stuff again. You want to lay down right here? Right here. No, stop. Okay, seriously. Come on. Dawn. Uh-oh, Daddy's coming to get you. Daddy's coming to get you. See? Daddy's coming.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Thank you. I don't know what he wants. I don't know.
Him just wants attention.
I think so. All right. I think he thinks it's time to move in the other room.
Well, he probably does, but it's not good.
He says it's time to start winding down. I don't understand when nobody is going to do our nightly routine. We play ice hockey every night in the kitchen because I will I'll fix me a Dr. Pepper at night and I'll get him a piece of ice and he'll go hide around the corner and he'll stick just his little, I can just see his ears peeking around the corner, and then I'll slide the ice to him and he'll run out and get it and bat it around, and then he'll run under the kitchen table and hide, and we'll go from there, and then he'll run around the island and hide, and I'll slide it over there, and that's our nightly routine, and I'm pretty sure that's what he's wanting to do, but it's too early. So he's just gonna have to wait. And Daddy doesn't do it right, so he has to wait for Mommy to do it. It is pretty funny. He runs out, bats it with his front paws. What he really likes to do is see if he can hit it under the refrigerator or under the pantry door. That's his favorite. Oh, look. See? I've got a mouse stuck in. I've caught a mouse. Oh, you didn't do a very good job. Hello? Hey. Daddy's got your chicken. You're going to have to play with them.
He's in a mood. I'm going to shut these doors, is what I'm going to do.
Well, he'll yell.
He can yell all he wants. Come on.
He wants to play ice hockey. Oh. She'll get to where she likes to be held. She's just not sure yet. I'm positive. Did he hold her? The person that had her before? Ah, well, I'm betting she'll want to be held at some point. She just is learning you. You know, it's funny that I'd never had cats. I'd always had dogs growing up, and the first cat I ever got, I found him. He was trying. He was itty bitty. Should have what probably shouldn't even have been weaned yet, and he was trying to climb a tree in my yard, just a little bitty thing. And so I just took him in the house and picked him up, carried him around, and just like you would a dog, right? I just held him and carried him and had him for 15 years. And that was the most loving animal. And so when I got my next ones, I did the same with them. I have never had a cat that was standoffish, didn't want to be touched, didn't want to be held. So I'm sure that the fact that she's right there wanting to be in the room with you tells me she probably was held, and she's just warming up. So you know, she'll get there. With Binks, I didn't get him as early as I have my other ones. I usually like to get them, you know, the minute they can be weaned, because then I will rub their paws, I will rub their ears, I will, you know, rub their tail and make sure they're very acclimated. Um, with him, because they tend to have a little more wild tendency to them, they don't um, allow them to go to homes quite as early, because they end up with them returned for the fact that they're a little wilder, and it takes a little longer. But they do all of that. They, you know, make them, um, they try to get them to where they're used to being, their ears being touched, their paws being touched, their tails, blah, 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 blah. The problem with that is that um, they're still in with all their siblings in a room, and they don't sleep, you know, on a bed or any of that. So he wasn't used to being held and cuddled. But he was used to being, my husband has shut my doors, which are glass. And there's this little face looking in here like, how come I've been banned? But he wasn't used to being held and cuddled, and so I would just pick him up, and the minute he, started wanting to get down, I just put him back down gently, and I would just pick him up every day, and just put him down when, as soon as he didn't want to be held anymore, and then it got to where, it was longer, and then it got to where he would be held and he would purr, and so it's a process. She spent the first 3 days in my closet. Oh, the fact that she follows me, either me or my son, is progress. Absolutely. Absolutely. And she didn't understand, right? She has, you can't tell him in English what has just happened and why her life has just gone, why her house has changed, and the person she thought was her person is gone, and and you feel for them. You wish you could tell them all those things and that they would understand. But she will get there. All right. Here is one down. How did you go around? So here's a new circle we've started. Okay, I've got to turn the fan off. The air conditioner's on. Oh, that got cold in a hurry. Alrighty. Alright. So I'll start another. I'll be streaming tomorrow afternoon, and I'm going to be working on a pair of socks that I'm knitting. I'm doing 2 at a time. I will not do socks 1 at a time because I will never finish the other one. That bores me. And then tomorrow evening I will be diamond painting. You know, the most challenging part is the casting on. That really is the hardest part of two at a time, because you have to wrap your head around the fact that the first sock, you cast on half of it, then you cast on the whole second sock, and then you come back around and cast on the second half of the first sock if you're going to use magic loop. So that is really the hardest part of it. Other than that, it is easy peasy. And I love using magic loop. And if you really have a hard time with that process, then you can start them on two separate things and get them going for a little ways, and then merge them onto the magic loop. Some people do that, but it really is just wrapping your head around the cast on. And then once you're past that, and this is my favorite sock pattern, it is perfect every single time. I love it. It doesn't matter who you make socks for, it will fit them every time. She did a great job with this pattern, and I love it. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow at 1 Central Time. Oh, cool. I used to do jewelry. I used to make jewelry a lot. I worked at I managed a chain of hair salons, and um, they allowed me to sell my jewelry at the salons. So that was great. But I love to crochet. Um, I knitted for years before I ever taught myself to crochet. My favorite crochet is mosaic crochet. And I'm working on 2 blankets right now. I do 1 blanket on Monday nights and 1 blanket on Tuesday night streams. So one is it's called Speedy Train, and the other one is called Under Construction. Here, I can throw a picture up real quick. Let's see. Let's see. I think it will come up. Let me hide that, and I think it will come up right here. So that's the pattern, that Under Construction. So it makes, it's all done with singles and doubles in the same row. I see you, baby. I'm sorry. Um, so that is one of them, but I'm doing it in yellow and white. And then, oh, and then here is the other one that I'm doing. So it's fun. I absolutely love it. It's not boring. And what's fun about it is when you single crochet, you're only single crocheting in that back loop, which leaves that front bar open. And then when you're double crocheting in the row below that you had just left the bar open in. So that's how it keeps it straight all the way across, and paints a picture. So it is so much fun, and you can do all kinds of fun pictures. I did for my daughter and son-in-law for Christmas. I did blankets for them. and it is just, I just find it so fun. There's one I want to do for me that is it's a true crime blanket, and it cracks me up, and I want to do it. That will be my next one after I get these two done. But I do that on Monday and Tuesday nights. And I don't know if you heard the cat just a minute ago yelling at the door, but my husband had to come back and get him again because he was not happy. Oh, good. Yeah, I love knitting and crocheting. Um, I've done a ton of knitting over the years. Um, I taught myself from YouTube. Um, and I have a ton of yarn. In fact, I just cleaned out my stash and put a whole bunch of it on to Stashify to sell because I just have more than I will ever, ever, ever use. And then a friend just signed me up for, I don't know if you know who Helen Stewart is, but she knits, and she just is doing a knit event where she releases a mystery pattern every so many weeks through the end of the year. In fact, she just released her first one today. So, I've got that. And then, if that's not all enough, I rug hook, I rug punch, and I got into it because, you buy skeins of yarn and you knit, and then you end up with these little extra things of yarn that you didn't use all of. And I was ending up with all this extra yarn, and I was thinking, what am I going to do with all this? So I ended up at a yarn festival or a fiber fest, and somebody was doing rug punching, and I thought that is a perfect way to use up all this extra yarn. Yeah, Helen Stewart is one of my favorites. She's great. And then so I decided to get into rug punching. Well, then the more I taught myself about rug punching, then I found out about rug hooking and traditional rug hooking. So I got into rug hooking, and I went down that rabbit hole, and then so I love doing that, and it just keeps going and going, and then I find this craft, and then I find that craft. I think that's part of it too. I just always like to learn something new. So on your jewelry, do you make your beads? Do you use resin? Do you do clay? Do you predominantly do necklaces? And if you crochet, have you been exposed to Ravelry? Cool. Uh, oh, it's a rabbit hole, isn't it? Ravelry is a rabbit hole. I think on Ravelry um, I'm Candace727 if you want to friend me on Ravelry and see the projects I've done. I don't have them all out there, but I do have some. I think it's Candace727. But yeah, Ravelry, I could be oh, bad. It's bad. Now I do resin. Um, resin is messy. It's just, I love it, but you really have got to have the space to have it set. Well, for me, I don't like having to take it down all the time, and it gets, you have to have the filtration or do it outside or um, all of that. But I do have um, the molds for buttons, and well, I have lots of molds. I have lots of molds. Um, I've done a lot of fun knitting and crocheting keychains. Um, I've got to get those up on my Etsy at some point, but really cute stickers that say stuff about knitting and crochet. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that can get lost on Ravelry. I should probably put that on my About Me page. Yeah, and that's easy, right? You can take it with you and work on it at lunch or whenever, which is what I kind of like about this too. I can do this in the car. I can take it, my mother is in her 80s, and so I take her, to her doctor's appointments or whatever, and I can take this stuff with me, knitting, crochet, any of that. And in fact, there's a shawl that I have that I call it my doctor shawl because it's the basket I grab every time I'm taking somebody, to an appointment. Oh, you can't hear this. I see you, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you want in? He can't stand it. Come on, you can come in. Come on. You can come in. Daddy did not keep you up. Come on, Pete. Come on. You can come in here. Now he's running like he's scared. Come on, baby. You can come. Come here. You can come in here. Did Daddy ground you? Poor baby. Did you hear him? Come here, bud. Come on. You're fine. Poor little thing, him so mistreated. Come here, I'm at a stopping place. You can come up here if you want to. You want to come up here? Come on. Come here, I'll move stuff and you can be the main attraction. You want to come up? Come on. Here, let's do this. Let's move the camera a little bit. Come on. You want to be on the show? Do you want to be on the show? Come here. Okay, come over here. All right. Come here. Come over here. You want to come say hi? Can you say hi? Binksy. Okay, you cannot. Okay, he actually moved the camera with his tail. Hey, come over here and look at this. Come here. Come over here. Right here. Come here. Will you show him how pretty your face is? Will you show him how pretty your face is? Come here. Hey. Can you show them how pretty? Well, I don't want to show them your rear end. Can you turn around? Really? Well, I'm not sure what he wanted because he just walked off again. And now he's tearing up paper. Well, since I've had to move this stuff this many times, I think we will end that for today. He is just, he wants what he wants. And he is not happy. But I will be back tomorrow afternoon at 3 to work, no, 1 p.m. to work on socks. And then tomorrow evening at 6 to work on my diamond painting that hopefully I might get done before Thanksgiving. So Lara, thanks for following, and Misty, thanks for the follow, and thanks for chatting with me and hanging out, and I hope y'all will be back tomorrow at either one of my streams tomorrow, and we can chat and hang out and chill. Tomorrow evening I'm diamond painting, so that's a very relaxed, quiet stream, unless you want to talk, because I can talk. Otherwise we just hang out, put the sparkly little diamonds on the page. And I don't know what we'll do with him. We may have to give him an extra helping of food. Well, thanks, and I have followed you, and I will be watching for you, and we will feed him extra tomorrow, and we will see y'all later. Y'all have a good night.